And we find ourselves at the stadium that played host to Super Bowl 52, the wondrous U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. Today, the curtain falls on the regular season, and we've got a good one in store between the Houston Texans and the Minnesota Vikings.
Looking right. And he'll get this one up to the 26. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Green, 39!
And on the ground they go with the running back. He'll be dropped at the 30. The shifty move couldn't free him. It's a 4-yard pickup there, and it leaves him with 3rd and 5.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
All right, here we go. Green, 39! Green!
From the gun on 3rd down, Jackson. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's 4th down.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game. But it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. 3rd down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go and make the tackle right away.
The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. On 1st down, Watson. And he's got Shockey. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. The numbers for him from a week ago. 7 catches, 72 yards.
And they think they have a matchup advantage in this one. They're going to try and find some space for him to work and make sure he touches the football.
Able to get 7 on that 1st down pass play. 2nd and 3. From the gun, here's Watson. Space to maneuver at the 40. Throw taken in by Taylor left side. And all the way up to the 45-yard line. 16 yards on that one, and also a Texan 1st down. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him.
2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on 1st down.
Right there. Target!
Watson looks to throw again. He dumps it underneath for Taylor. And he is down deep into Minnesota territory. That one goes for 36 yards. How about the start throwing the football? 4 for 4 on this opening drive.
Oh, he's slinging it. And oftentimes when you talk about slinging it, you're thinking about a guy throwing it all over the yard, not necessarily accurately. In this case, though, he's honing in on his targets, and he's delivering.
Yeah, the opening script, however, they drew it up for this first drive, going to plan so far. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. They stopped after only a yard, taking it down to the 14.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
Check three. Target!
And they'll run it here. And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13. Miles Jack there to make the tackle.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball in this drive and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. Makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
To throw is Watson. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
That's a good job there creating the contact to force the incompletion. And now, since it's 4th down, that should set up a field goal situation.
And a nice sigh of relief defensively to be able to hold them to 3. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays, and when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
Now the Vikings offense works their way back onto the field. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trite expression 101. Win first down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on first down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating first downs that way. Keep moving the football. You don't want to get behind the sticks because then the defense has the advantage. Well, you had to punt on your first drive, and on the first play of the second drive, you end up going backwards. I would dare say they need something good to happen right here, right now.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Now Jackson on 2nd down. Going right side here, and that's complete. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players. Somehow came back to football.
Blitz coming, and down he goes.
That's how we do it, baby.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through
under pressure again, and down he goes again. Zach Cunningham in there to get him, and this pass rush strong now. That's sacks on back-to-back plays. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest ones, maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. 0 accountability, and a sack resulted.
Man, he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. It's a gain of 11, but they're still well short. It's 4th down.
Well, the good thing about covering any game I do with you is I know that there's no problem with rhythm. Now, what we're watching offensively, a little bit of a problem there.
Yeah, punt on the first drive, looking at another one here. Just a little slow. You know, they were talking about a fast start, but that hasn't been the case.
Yeah, and let's face it, any team we cover always talks about a fast start.
That's true.
But it's not necessarily going to happen just because they say so. And whether it's the script, whether it's, you know, just what they're going through, whether they're seeing different defenses, they're going to have to figure it out as this game moves on.
And he works it across the 25 before being tackled. And they've got it here with a first down. Off of play action, it's Watson. And he's got his big tight end over the middle, complete. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A good pick up there of 20 yards.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? That sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. On first down, it's Watson. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Holding offense.
So that one a hold right guard.
And you understand why offensive and defensive linemen probably go to martial arts schools and work on their hands so often, because that can be the make or break difference on a play. This time he had to grab a jersey in order to make the play happen. Got caught for the penalty.
And he'll be brought down just shy of the 45. It's a gain of 7 on the ground. Second down coming up.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Everyone's got 4 down. Check 15. Reset. Come back.
To throw on second is Watson. Flushed it, and he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down.
This offensive line has struggled. In fact, when we sat down with the coach, he said it's been in tatters lately. They allowed 6 sacks in their last game. Just gave up another one right there.
In tatters, so it sounds a little bit like this right now.
Exactly. It's like that paper being ripped. And right now, they've got to find a way to get it back together.
Gonna need something special here on 3rd and long. After that sack, what does Watson have in his arsenal?
Come back.
A shotgun snap for Watson. And almost picked off. I guess the good news for them now, it's 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
It's a 41-yard punt, but just a net of 31 following the run back. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. And now out comes Minnesota. They've had it twice. They punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on 3rd down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a 1st down and change our momentum?
That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal, because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Throwing again on 2nd down, but this time it's incomplete. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field. We can go make a play on the football.
Only able to get back a yard for his efforts, and that leads us to 4th down.
And, partner, I would guess that in his headset he was hearing from his coach, it's 3rd down, don't take a sack. And in this case, he's able to avoid the pressure and get out of there. He doesn't get the 1st down, but he does turn a possible loss into positive yardage.
This is taken around the 12. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. And now out comes Houston. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage. The big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and get these guys. Low man wins. Let's go do it on this drive.
We'll watch that leverage on this drive.
No. Off. Black 99 Philly, here we go. Mike, boys, 47. Check, 47. Here we go. Detroit!
And now a first chance for the backup here to throw. And his first throw here is incomplete.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on 1st down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on 1st down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock the Albert away and bring up 2nd down.
Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10.
Richmond.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10, Watson. The hook up on the right side to Hopkins. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation. would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
And they're left looking at 3rd and 8 after the second down pass play only went for 2. Now a whistle, and I think a penalty here for a delay. No, they're going to say timeout. They did get the timeout in time. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. They had the catch on second down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at 3rd down here.
Tiger.
Out of the gun, Watson. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Lamb. Touchdown, Houston. A big play there with touchdown number 12 on the year. And the Texans will extend their lead. Great corner route there. Not only able to catch it, turn it upfield, and get into the end zone.
It usually involves a little bit of an extra move, doesn't it? You've got to get them thinking that you're moving to the middle of the field, and you're breaking away to that corner. Boy, that was well executed.
Gonzalez able to tack on the PAT, and the lead grows to 10-0. Gonzalez now to kick this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Getting set to go again here on offense, Keenan Allen marches back onto the field. You better believe that he's well aware he has 0 catches right now, and they're losing, so he's probably a little hungry.
And you know the guys on defense are aware as well, and they're really excited that he has no catches, but they're also worried because a lot of times that's like the ticking time bomb. The longer you hold him down, when he finally explodes, look out.
Yeah, no catches, though, so far in this game. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. A very nice pickup of 33 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
Now they try the right side here. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be 2nd down.
With the struggles we're seeing up front for the offense today, they've got to think about changing up their play calling. Some screens, some draws, some quick-hitting plays in order to try and supplement the run game. You don't totally abandon it, but you try and give it a little bit of help.
And a pretty little juke move there on a nice gain. Give him 9 yards on the 2nd down screen play. 2 minutes to play here in the first half. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Now Jackson. Throw left side complete. It's Gross. And he'll cross over out of bounds right at the 25. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another first down.
And that's how you pick up a first down. Not only does he make the catch, but has enough body control to get his feet down inbounds, toe tapping and dragging to make sure he gets it done.
Firing quickly here, and that's complete. 11 more yards that go around, a first down as well. First red zone chance now for the Vikings. It's 1st and 10 at the 14.
Now let's go. Green 39. Green 39.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. It'll be a gain of 6, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4.
Blue 90.
Jackson will throw again. That is caught at the 7-yard line. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down. And now prior to this 3rd and 1, we're going to get a timeout here. as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. The Vikings on third down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1.
3-19.
And Jackson throwing once more. And he can't hang on to it. Nearly picked. He's known for his hands defensively, but instead it just brings up 4th down.
I know every offense wants to start their snaps closer to the goal line, but it's actually harder to throw the ball in those situations. You throw into that tight coverage, you see what happens. Hard to get the ball in there.
Not enough space there. Lucky maybe that it wasn't intercepted. So they do get the 3 points before they hit halftime. Something to build on, maybe.
Yeah, go ahead and raise the banner, right? Wave the flag. That's good. Got points, and now, as you said, they've got something to build on as they get ready for the second half.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And that should give his guys a spark. He's up all the way to the 44-yard line.
Any return that gets you to midfield is a great return. 1 first down, and you're almost in field goal position.
Now Deshaun Watson and his offense heading back out there. He's played a pretty clean first half, a touchdown, no interceptions.
Frankly, that's what they expect out of him. They want to see the ball thrown and thrown well, and he's able to do that and put it in the end zone. They'd love to see more of that before this game finishes.
The rough pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. Well, they were coming out of the 4-3 defensively. Pressure coming off that right side from the DM.
And that's the blind side of most quarterbacks. If you're right-handed, that's the side you don't see quite as well. That's why you rely on your left tackle, maybe your highest-paid offensive lineman, to take care of you. Into
a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Deion Jones, the linebacker. And he's giving his guys a shot for late points as they will take over in range for a field goal or maybe more. That late in the clock, second quarter, why not just run it a time or two and get it into the locker room?
What you're saying makes absolutely perfect sense. Run it and get out of there. But I'm just wondering if the pressure of today's NFL and the high-powered offenses that you're facing may force them into saying, let's try and get some more points.
And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. Jackson on first down. And incomplete there, almost picked off. That's one you maybe expect your roaming free safety to come up with. But it's second down. So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. He hit his first, this one from 40 yards out. And McManus able to put it through. So we've got an abbreviated halftime show as we get rolling to quarter 3. Now McManus on to kick this one off. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Deshaun Watson and the Texans offense trot back out there. And he's had some time to chew on that interception he threw on his last drive back in the first half.
Well, normally we say, well, get him right back out on the field and play again, right? But as you mentioned, had the halftime, had to stew about it a little bit. Maybe he'll have a chance to relax a little and kind of laugh and chuckle and let it go.
He'll hope to respond positively here to start the third quarter. Wide open receiver complete. Touchdown, Houston. A big play there with his 13th touchdown of the year and second of the game. And the Texans will add on to their lead. In order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors, but that's his second touchdown catch of this game. He's one of the key guys in this one. And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this one continues to go. Gonzalez good on the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. And we can break that scoring drive down pretty easily. One play, a long touchdown pass into the end zone. Gonzalez now to kick this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. It's the Vikings' turn on offense. We get ready for their first possession of the second half. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down.
Completion was given up, but that's why you play zone defense, so that you can have people around the ball when it's caught, and you don't give up much run after the catch.
2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down.
Here we go now.
From the gun, it's Jackson to Shepard, complete over the middle. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. 11 yards there as they connect on the quick slant.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
Blue 90. Blue 90.
Now Jackson on first down. And he will find his man on the end route, complete. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
It certainly feels like there are more stars at the tight end position than there were even 10 years ago. And I think it's become more of a glamour position because of the ways it can hurt a defense, and guys want to be involved. They can be in line, close to the line of scrimmage. They can split out like receivers. But hands, route running, speed, and some toughness to go across the middle, you put it all together, you got a heck of a tight end candidate. Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Hurry up, here we go. Green.
And they'll go on the ground. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. 5 yards on the pickup, and that's going to bring up a third down.
Well, they still have time to get him established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
All right, here we go.
And they'll go with a ground attack here. No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave them with a fourth down.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
And McManus able to put it through, and that'll make this an 8-point game. So it's a third field goal for him now. He's accounted for all 9 points. I look down to the sideline, though. You can just tell they weren't too happy for 3. They wanted 6.
So they have to have 6. Look, he's keeping them afloat, but they really need to do exactly what you talked about. They need to get into the end zone and score some touchdowns. Otherwise, he's going to have to kick a lot more field goals than just the 3 he's already put through the posts.
And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. And now out comes Houston. And last time the formula was pretty simple. One play drive, long pass. That maybe they just want to do that again, right?
And that's exactly how you want to draw things up. Whether it's on your grease board, right, in your playbook, one play drive is exactly what you want on offense. What they have to be careful of is not having a letdown. It was fairly easy last time. They can't expect that going forward.
Yeah, we'll see if it's that easy here. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. It's the Pro Bowler Chandler Jones who makes the tackle.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
The Texans on third down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 8.
47's the mic. 47's the mic.
Now Watson from the gun. He'll throw. Oh, the ball is out. Watson lost it.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back, because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or moved away from him. In this case, though, the teammate is able to come up with the ball.
So a change of possession here on the punt. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Vikings offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point
kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him in contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about that. Super toe. Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
And they'll go ground game here with the tailback. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains.
We use the word relentless a lot with guys who are aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles and his feet never stop moving?
Hurry up, here we go. 3-19. 3-19.
Throwing now, Jackson on first down. Over the middle, complete. That's Gross. And he's taken down inside the 30. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs.
And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense at every position. The tight ends are creating so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with a tight end as a linebacker, this is going to be the result every time.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. And he'll be brought down on what's going to turn out to be the final play of this third. And we return, welcoming you back to Minneapolis. It's the Vikings in possession of the football, but they need some points. They're trailing here to start the fourth. The Vikings on third down. They've had their troubles, just 1 for 6. This will be 3rd and 5. Jackson from the shotgun. This will be caught inside the 10. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it, sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And this is going to result in losing yardage. They're driven back to the 8-yard line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down. It's 2nd and goal, back to the 8-yard line now.
All right, here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
From the gun, Jackson. His pass caught at the 4. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. As his guys are in for 6. And the Vikings are within a 2-point conversion of tying this game.
I wonder if he changed anything on his play sheet or they just executed better. Because they had 2 previous drives that ended in field goals. Before this one, they finally were able to put into the end zone.
Well, whatever he did, speaking of the offensive coordinator, might be using that formula going forward. It worked there.
Yeah, it worked very well. He and his field general in pretty good sync right now. They're starting to move the ball well.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And all that work mark, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Out now comes the Houston offense as you take a look at the playoff picture in the AFC. And it's all come down to this, hasn't it? Final week of the regular season. If this year's playoffs play out anything like the regular season has gone, could be in for a wild and fun month of January.
And we can break the rules because we can look ahead. All right, there's not a coach out there that's ever said to their team, all right, let's look three weeks down the road. It's always right here, right now. Forget that. Think about what the playoffs are going to look like. The teams that we see that are already in, the teams that are trying to get in, we could have some great matchups.
Back to the air, Watson on second down. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Shaw. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up third down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
He's going to wind up and air it out. And that's caught inside the 35. And mark him down all the way inside the Minnesota 10. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal.
Couldn't just sit on it here, could they? Had to throw the ball on third down. Got the big completion in the pickup. Fresh set of downs now. They've got to feel great.
And defensively, a backbreaker. So first and goal, 6 points here would go a long way toward wrapping this one up.
Hey, we got four.
Now a give to Taylor. And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. A great play there with touchdown number 12 on the year. And the Texans will extend their lead. And they're able to run it in. It started with a battle in the trenches. They won there, and they got in for 6 points.
And that's going to be a tough one for the defense to deal with. They've got to go to the bench now and figure out how are we going to slow down this running game, because on that particular play, they had no answer.
Gonzalez able to tack on the PAT, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. The drive summary, 4 plays, 75 yards. And in the end, it's capped off by a 7-yard run. Gonzalez now to kick this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now the Vikings offense gets set to take over here.
Now let's go. Green, 39.
Throwing on first down, it's Jackson to the sideline, and wow, what a catch there. He doesn't get a lot, but he was able to get the feet down complete. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
This possession means so much for them. They've got to focus on this drive and find a way to make this a one-possession game.
Yes.
Got to get a score.
Yeah, so good with a field goal. Don't necessarily need a touchdown.
Set.
On second down, here's Jackson. His throw incomplete.
What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry. Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of, otherwise he was going to get sacked.
So the failure to connect on second down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8.
3-19.
Here's Jackson operating from the gun. And this is going to be incomplete.
Sometimes the coverage is so good, no matter what you're doing on offense, you just can't shake anyone free. They try their best to find someone open, but they took away every passing alley, every angle, and shut the play down.
All right, here we go. 3-19.
Here we go. It's Jackson on 4th down. And that is incomplete. The Vikings unable to convert here on 4th. And the Texans take over an excellent field position. So they really needed points here in a 2-score game. Could not come away with anything there on 4th.
And while we know they're a little bit discouraged here, they can't check out of this game. You and I have called a good number of games over the course of our career where we've seen these types of situations. Teams get the ball back, and that miracle does occur. So they can't let that dream go just yet. They have to get stout on defense here.
Yeah, right now really hoping for a turnover. go to the ground again with Taylor. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Tackle made there by the UCF man, Mike Hughes.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
The Texans on third down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5.
Green the line! Green the line!
The give to Taylor. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving. Now a handoff looking right, and he'll fight his way down right around the 12. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. Able to stay in bounds, so the clock keeps rolling. And this defense right now backed up in the red zone. Another touchdown, it's over. They've got to stand tall quickly.
Been in this spot before. Now there's a little bit of desperation creeping in, and all you're doing when you're talking to your defensive teammates is first guy there, hold him up. Second, third guy in, rake at the football. Get it out. We got to create a turnover because one more score, and this game's over.
On the handoff, this is Taylor. And power running here down to the 6-yard line. That second down run, a big help as 7 yards leaves them with just a 3rd and 3 now. The recipe's pretty simple, I think, right? Just give your superstar the ball, continue to feed him.
Yeah, don't overthink this one, right? Make sure he's touching the football, but you're also counting on his intelligence in playing the game as well. If it's not there, don't force the run. Just make sure you hang on to the football and keep the clock ticking.
Down! Black 22! Black 22!
Time for a break. We'll come back to wrap this one up after this. So it's Texans football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. On third down, that's Taylor. And they'll get him down here at about the 5-yard line. And now we'll see a timeout used on defense as they stop it right out of the break with 1:57 to go in the ballgame. And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on 4th.
Hey, we got 4. We got 4 down. Hey!
Trying to punch it in with Taylor. And he's in for the score. Touchdown, Texans. A great effort there with his 13th touchdown of the year and 2nd of the game. And the Texans will add on to their lead.
Well, it'd be real easy to say that they are firmly in control right now, but I'm looking at your face and I'm thinking I got to be careful with that.
Well, it's a 2-score game. You're inside of 2 minutes. I think you can breathe relatively easily now.
Yeah, you can, but still, you got to stay vigilant. Can't give up anything cheap and easy. That could put you in some jeopardy.
Now Watson. A hit as he throws there, incomplete. Protection was great. He had time to set up a campsite, but in the secondary, though, they were ready.
And I think that in most places on the field, if you have that much time to throw the ball, someone's going to shake free and you'll find an open receiver. But condensed near the goal line on a 2-point conversion, all that extra, there's not any extra field. So it kind of closes in on them, and that allows you to cover a little bit better.
And now out comes Minnesota. And this offense last time turned it over, went for it on 4th, didn't get it. They're lucky, though, because no points against the team on the board, but we'll see how they respond.
All right, here we go.
Yeah, they got to get a lot of credit to their defensive teammates, don't they? They had their backs in that last series, and because they did so, that allows the coach to still stay aggressive on offense and maybe go for it again in a similar situation.
I was going to say maybe makes that offense feel good when you know you've got a defense making stands like that.
Yeah, that'll loosen up things a little bit, won't it? Maybe you'll play a little bit better the next time you have the ball.
Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. The clock still runs. We're at 90 seconds now. Now they try the right side here. Room to run past midfield. That's good for 21 yards and a first down.
Would you say this offense is locked in right now?
They're having no trouble on this drive. What is it, 3 plays, 3 first downs?
Yeah, you talk about on the march. They keep this up, they'll get to that end zone real fast.
Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39.
They'll throw on first down with Jackson. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Shepard busting through contact. Just wasn't a huge hole there for him to operate. Stopped just inside the 35-yard line. On 2nd down, Jackson. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. That'll be enough to keep the drive moving forward. Another first down on the pickup of 5 yards. Clock management definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
Jackson. And this is caught. First catch for Keenan Allen. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. That's just his 2nd catch of the game. They wanted to keep him silent. They have kept him silent.
Defensive football 101. Don't let the best player on offense beat you. Take him out of the game, and they've done a great job of doing that.
2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down.
3-19.
To throw again is Jackson. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep 2 hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. Jackson now. And he takes this one into the end zone, and all of a sudden, here in the final minute, things get a little bit tighter. Okay, so they got the score. Do you go for 1 here and save the possible 2-point conversion for later?
I think you do, because if you go for 2 here and you don't get it, that's deflation.
Yeah.
Now you wonder why you're even going for it. Take the easy one now and come back and try and get it later.
Extra point from McManus is good, as this gets them back within a touchdown and a 2-point conversion. So there is still time, a little over 50 seconds to go, but this becomes a critical onside kick. And this will be recovered by the Texans. So victory appears to be in sight. Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of an anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
So a defensive timeout, chance to regather, regroup, and get set as we resume action. Have to imagine this will be on the ground as well as they come up 2nd and 7. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he stopped immediately there. The Vikings going to use their 3rd and final timeout, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the game. The line to gain is the 33 on 3rd down. Down to a knee here as the Texans look to let the clock roll.
Yeah, it's fun to kneel down in front of your home crowd, but when you go on the road, that band of brothers attitude, right, just us against the world, and get it done, how happy are they?
I remember a coach at a previous stop telling me, you get a win on the road, doesn't matter the opponent, get out of there like you stole something. And they did in this one. And they're going to take it all the way down and just take the delay.
Delay of game, offense.
I think they're just a product of trying to buy themselves 5 extra yards.
And they want to help their punter out, right? Help with the angle, trying to pin the ball deep. That's exactly what they did there.
Down to a knee here as the Texans look to let the clock roll. Well, going into the final play of this game, they knew that they needed some type of a miracle there at the very end, but they couldn't get it done. However, we were treated to really a spectacular affair.
Even though they